My name is Ryan Schmidt, and I'm a computer science and psychology double major from Vail, Colorado. I knew since I was pretty young that I wanted to ski race in college, and it's something I've been doing throughout my whole life, and I knew I wanted to continue it. So when looking for colleges, I knew I wanted to come back east and pair a really high level of academics with a high level of athletics. And having known people who had been on the Williams team before, doing amazing things, I knew this is where I wanted to be. My parents put me on skis when I was 2 or 3 years old, going up the rope toe, and I wasn't even able to hold it myself. And then as I got older, to try to teach me how to ski correctly, they put me in a race program when I was 5 or 6, and kind of took off from there. I think when you tell a 5 or 6-year-old to go down the mountain as fast as they can, it hooks you. And so then I grew up through kind of their junior race program in New Hampshire, and then moved out to Colorado and continued my dream of kind of trying to ski as fast as I could, and was able to bring it all the way to Williams. Throughout my time at Williams, I've tried to do things outside the classroom. When I was a sophomore, I was a wolf leader, leading kids on orientation trips when they arrived to campus. And then I was also a junior advisor of MD2. And then over the past few years, I've also worked at Williamstown Elementary and Brayton Elementary as a science fellow, teaching young elementary school students about cool things in the environment, doing experiments, and all sorts of other fun stuff. So I found that over the course of my ski career at Williams, I eat almost the same thing every race day and the night before every race day. Usually the night before I'll eat pizza and pasta, and then the morning of I'll eat oatmeal, and my race days always start the same way. I go up for inspection and then a warm-up run, and then do warm-up in the lodge as well as at the top of the course. And I found that the days that I don't do that, the days that I don't do well, or have kind of silly mistakes. So as a computer science and psychology major, I knew post-college I wanted to combine sort of the technical aspect with something that was a little more people-centered and actually get to work with people instead of being stuck in front of a computer all day. So after graduation, I'll be moving to Boston as a software engineer, but as part of a technology consulting firm. So being able to kind of combine working with clients and a team with the more technical aspect of my major. I'm really looking forward to that in a place with so many Williams grads and people that I'll know around and being close to campus. So Jiminy Peak is probably one of arguably the best mountains that any of the ski racing colleges get to train at or race at. At our carnival this past weekend, we were able to have an unbelievable surface. Kids from all over the East Coast were saying it was probably the best snow they've ever skied on. So Jiminy treats us really well. We're able to train when we want, a lot of times where we want, even though we do have one dedicated trail for us. We have vans that allow us to get back and forth. It's a 15-20 minute drive. So it's sort of unparalleled in terms of access to training. And then it's also really great pitch, steepness that allows us to go and race at almost any mountain and feel comfortable. And alpine practice usually starts the night before with ski tuning. So we're in our ski room, sharpening our skis, waxing our skis, and scraping that wax off. When we head to the mountain, our coaches are up there right away with drills, putting gates in the snow. We're usually warming up in the lodge for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're up on the hill. And we look at the course, we inspect the course, and then we usually take between 2 and 5 runs in the course, getting feedback and video from our coaches along the way. So one of the probably most unknown parts of skiing and ski racing is ski tuning. This is something we pretty much do between every time we ski, so basically every night for the entirety of the winter. So ski tuning, there's ski tuning, which is worrying about your edges and how sharp they are, and then ski waxing, which is worrying about your base. And so the two components of the edge that are important is the side edge, which is kind of what's this plane right here, and then your base edge, which is the part of the metal that's running along this bottom section. And along with that, you have different bevels, so different degrees that is actually cut by a machine in a shop. So it's a file pretty much similar to a file that you might see in other types of industrial shops or whatnot, but it's probably finer than those. And so what you do is you attach, this is a bevel, this one's 3 degrees. So we use clamps and whatnot, and you attach it. And then basically what you're doing is you're just running this down your edge. And you run it the length of your edge to cut the metal. And basically by doing that, what you're doing is just you're sharpening it. But the thing about skiing is what that ends up doing is leaving kind of a big hanger where you're kind of forcing it over the edge of the metal. So we have different tools that are much finer. These are called stones. This is just a ceramic piece, and the stones come in a lot of different levels of sort of granularity of the surface of them, and they're kind of rough. And so you're going to do the kind of the same concept. You'd attach it to your bevel, and then you run it up and down your edge to kind of get a smooth, consistent edge. And the other component of your base edge, which I personally touch a little less, but if you look at the base of the ski, you have this middle section down the whole ski that is actually absorbs wax and whatnot, but then the metal on the edges, for me, it's a half a degree is what they cut it in the shop. And so a lot of times you'll take something like a ceramic, and when you have kind of overhanging metal from when you sharpened it, you run it down your edge to make sure you hold that 0.5 degree, because that's what's helping you grip and turn at kind of different proportions throughout your run.